Hello, I'm Thomas Schnetzler from Lindt Chocolate. We're here at the Essential Ingredient Cooking School and we talk to you about tempering chocolate. The chocolate we're using today is beautiful Lindt couverture chocolate. Now, couverture chocolate is really the chocolate we make for the professional. The difference with couverture chocolate to your standard is that it has got a slightly higher cocoa butter content. So that actually, couverture comes from the French word couvert, which means covering. So it actually has got a slightly higher fluency. So it runs a little bit silkier and a little bit smoother. And that's why this chocolate is perfect for coating truffles, coating cakes, and making hollow figures, etc. So the chocolate in the packets, as you buy it, it's actually perfectly tempered. But if you want to melt your chocolate down and make your own chocolate creations, you will actually need to re-temper the chocolate. So the tempering process will actually give you a chocolate with that beautiful shine again, that beautiful clean, crisp snap. So the way this is done in the traditional way is by pouring 2/3 of the hot chocolate onto a marble or a granite stone, because that will draw the temperature out of the chocolate. So we move the chocolate around and we scrape it back together. We want to cool our chocolate down to about 28 degrees Celsius and also introduce those good crystals back into the chocolate. And this continuous movement cools down the chocolate and actually starts to set the good crystals in this chocolate together. So we do this, continue to spread it out, push it together until we get this chocolate to have the consistency of almost cooked custard. Important to work clean, because any sort of little specks of chocolate around will actually set apart and we end up with lumps. As so many things in pastry cooking, you need a little bit of patience. So you just need to do this process until it gets the right texture. Because if you're just out by a couple of degrees, you won't get that nice result that we're after. So the important temperature gauges in tempering chocolate are to completely melt all the crystals inside the chocolate. We need to heat it very gently to 48 degrees Celsius. Then for dark chocolate, you will need to cool it down by tabling like this to 28 degrees Celsius. And then the working temperature for dark chocolate is actually at 31 to 32 degrees Celsius, depending a little bit on the chocolate itself. So we actually need to do that temperature curve, and as we're doing now, we're just really gently cooling the chocolate down, building those crystals. Then we introduce this back into our warm chocolate, and then gently reheat it on a water bath to the 31 degrees Celsius. Our chocolate is starting to thick up now. So this is pretty much, feels completely cold to touch. So we can introduce this back into our warm chocolate. And then we need to stir this well. So we need to stir this in really well. And then just on a water bath with just barely simmering water, we actually just need to heat it up by just a couple of degrees. So very gently. And out it comes, and then we take a little sample after you stirred well. And also the texture of tempered chocolate is actually relatively thick, so it sits up on the actual surface of the chocolate. And of course, it's always a good idea to just take a little sample. So dip a spoon or a scraper in your tempered chocolate and just set it aside. And this tempered chocolate actually starts to set within 2-3 minutes, and it'll be perfectly shiny, glossy, everything we're looking for in our chocolate. Right, if you haven't got a marble bench, there's a more straightforward way of tempering your chocolate as well, called seeding. All you need to do, again, you need to melt your chocolate up to 48 degrees Celsius, and you do that with 2/3 of the chocolate that you actually need. And then to temper it, to actually bring those crystals in and cool the chocolate down, we use our perfectly tempered couverture chocolate buttons. So we introduce 1/3 of these slowly, little by little, into the warm chocolate and stir well. And if they dissolve really quickly, we can add a little bit more. And this way we just bring the chocolate's temperature down to about 28 degrees. We stir well and then really gently heat it up again to the 31 degrees. And there we have it, perfectly tempered chocolates. Now you can use this to make chocolate decorations, for example, or your very own little Easter eggs or Christmas decorations. And of course, roll your own truffles in, for example. Voila, there it is. Now, of course, my essential ingredient has to be chocolate. So wherever I want chocolate to be the star, single origin couverture Ecuador with 70% cocoa, content, you can't beat that. Now, of course, every wannabe pastry chef also needs a good marble board to do chocolate decorations on, and of course, temper your chocolate. So those two, essential.